And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They start the drive with Cook. There he goes, left side. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Wow, first play of the game sees 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, we spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. Here's Hurts. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
88 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing, Jones steps away. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Excellent recognition, and none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a the field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. So
now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game?
Down the numbers. There he goes. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's Hurts to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this defense is circling early. The pick six there, and they are off to the races here in this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. This defense for the Vikings, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
The Yetur Gross Matos there to bring him down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. So they decline it, and they choose to not give him that down back.
And I think that's the key to everything there. They didn't give up any yardage even on the completed pass. Don't give them an extra down in order to try and pick up a first.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now Jones. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll be taken down, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 17-0 our score after 1. Looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
He's going to look deep for Watkins, and that is incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Hurts. Open man is Edwards. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Hurts. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Lewis Seen. There he goes, right side. Trotting. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders, it's not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Let's go now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
He's going deep for Brown. And now here's another interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick-6 last week. Not a pick-6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
97 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Off the play fake, Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will stay a 3-score game at 24.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw here. Hurts fumbles it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Here we go. The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass. Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he'll get this to the 32. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Off play action. Jones under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called a desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On the draw, here's Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. They'll fake the give to Sanders, now Hurts. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
They're on 19-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Running right, here's Sanders.
And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
18 ready. 79 Broncos.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. They got his man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Quez Watkins.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Here's Chandler on 2nd down.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Chandler. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Jones on 3rd down. And now here's another interception.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
What do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
6 yards left on 2nd down.
Give to Cook out of the gun. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more with this. It's just a more drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. This one out quickly to Watkins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
They go play action with Hurts.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Eagles.
Quez Watkins
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Eagles get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead now down to 20.
Vikings 34, Eagles 14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was in.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Jones. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
He finds his man complete. It's Chandler. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this will probably get away from them.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this one complete to Smith. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start. But now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball. Getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
Stiff-armed him. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Vikings on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. They'll try and run for it. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Vikings, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.